Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bulldogs Sports Network. I'm Brett Swinney alongside Corey Marshall, and hopefully soon Vincent Johnson will join us. Corey, how's it going, man? Corey, you with us? You with us there, Corey?
What's going on? I don't know. We had technical difficulty. All right,
That's
I'm here.
all right. That's all right. Well, hope everybody's having a good week so far. I am still having a good hangover after last Friday night's game. Not an actual hangover, but a good
It was
football
okay.
hangover. Yeah, good. I was going to say a 3-0 sweep for my teams this week. Uh, Bulldogs, Longhorns, Cowboys, all just put the whammy down on everybody this week. So I'm feeling really good about it.
Yeah, that's a good little boost, especially that last game.
And
Yeah,
and Sergeant Slaughter's joined us.
How y'all
Sergeant,
doing?
what's
That's how
happening?
I'm feeling. I'm feeling like we slaughtered some people this week in football. I like your shirt there, Vince. It's a nice shirt.
Oh yeah, I got a million of these, man.
I was just telling Corey,
Thanks.
I said 3-0 this week in football teams, so I'm feeling real good about this week's games.
Oh okay.
And every
We
one
got
of
the
my teams,
Cowboys
every
every
one
other
of my
week.
teams just dominated, just put the beat down on everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
had the
was.
Cowboys, but it didn't count.
What did I miss? I missed Maybank and Gilmer.
Yeah, where is it at?
The Maybank game, they went into the half winning.
Yeah, maybe they should have won that game. I
Yeah,
thought that was
they
gonna be an
just they
upset.
came out flat that second half. So
Look, what Lindell scored 31 unanswered points or something like that in the second half.
Yeah, they came back. We were kind of following that game on air. Really,
Yeah,
the only game that was really in question. Kilgore pretty much had the lead most of the game in their game, so we kind of were keeping an eye on the Lindale game. And there for a while, I thought maybe they had a chance, and then it just seemed like Lindale just was too much. I imagine they're a lot deeper than Maybank just by the size of the school. Maybe that just kind of wore down on them over the course of the game. But
could
I
be.
don't know. Just yeah. I hope everybody's having a good week. Get your chats in early and often tonight. If you want to make comments, questions, or anything, we're just going to talk about our picks from last week first. Kind of get those out of the way. If there's any question who won last week, just look below. It's uh it's very well known who.
I mean, I mean, you picking safe. You're not picking any long shots. You picking
thank you,
safe,
man.
so it's okay.
It's a pick'em contest. I want to win.
I
Do you want
mean,
me to?
there's no point.
I,
I mean, there's no fun if you're not picking like a team that may or may not be supposed to win. But
I
we'll see.
did,
We'll see.
and they lost.
We'll see.
I,
Well, I mean, that was
I,
what
I picked Hallsville over Jacksonville. I mean,
that was a coin flip. That was a
I
coin flip.
know, but I went with the away team, and I should have went with the home team. Evidently, I mean, I should have known. My whole in-law side is lives in Jacksonville, basically. So I mean, I probably should have went with Jacksonville. But there it is. What it is. I missed that one. I couldn't get them all this week, unfortunately, like last week. I will say, Vince, if you didn't know, you have now caught Corey for second place between the three of
Yeah,
us.
Okay,
yeah.
that's okay.
I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
pass him this week
No,
because eventually he has to pick against Chapel Hill.
no.
You said we was gonna lose two games.
Yeah, we're still waiting on those two losses.
I told you. I
What
don't
two
know.
losses?
I'm not picking a. I don't know.
See, here's Corey's logic. He thinks he's like, okay, I'm not gonna pick against Chapel Hill. They're gonna go, I think they're gonna go 8-2 because I don't want to pick 10-0 because everybody else is picking 10-0. So I'll just pick 8-2.
There we go.
I'm gonna pick against him everything he picked.
Well, that
Everything
should
I
be
pick,
it.
you're gonna pick against me.
Yeah.
Wow.
That means
Now,
you're
Bold.
gonna that means you're gonna
He,
pick against Chapel Hill this week. So
he's
how
bold. He's
now,
bold.
how did our chat people fare, Corey. I'm kind of curious to see who had the best picks. We got some of them
Well,
on.
we
We
had
got Christian and Chris are both on this evening. I don't know who else is on, but let's just kind of see how they did.
both of the Blevins, Chris and Christian, they both finished 4-4, which is weird. They both finished 4-4. And then Casey, Joe, and Kat, they both finished 6-2.
Oh, so they
So
beat you, Corey. Applaud,
well, they did. Yes, they did. Yes,
applaud, applaud, applaud.
yes. They got me. They got me. They got me.
Mm.
They got me. You know what I'm saying?
But
No big deal.
I think the deal is they have to beat all three of us, right, to be on air, and
Yes.
so
Yes.
they have to beat
Yes.
everybody. They did got Corey this week, but
Yes.
they've got to beat everyone.
Man, that would be hard to beat everybody. Corey, what three games? You missed three, right?
Yes.
What three were they?
I picked where's me? I had Hallsville over Jacksonville. Um I had Palestine over Kilgore. And I picked Maybank over Lindale. Which
Did
weren't
you have
bad games.
did you have La Vega?
Yeah, everybody in Vega won.
I know they did. I didn't know if
Yeah.
anybody. I thought someone picked against them. Maybe it wasn't any of the three of
Christian picked
us.
Miller. Christian picked
Uh,
Miller.
yeah, Miller got spanked. Uh, they came into town and just spanked Miller.
Yeah.
They, they spanked him right out of the rankings.
Yeah.
uh, speaking of rankings, I was looking at the rankings this week, and Kilgore snuck back up into the 10 slot. So
Yeah,
they're
well, the
back up
state
in the
loves
top 10.
Kilgore.
Yeah.
The state loves Kilgore regardless. So they win a game. Well, they've gotten two blowouts in a row. So obviously, they're gonna get some love that way. So
Okay.
Christian said I wanted to upset.
You want to lay down?
Well,
I'm with you, Christian. I wanted to upset. Not that game, but I'm looking forward to an Argyle upset. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Mhm.
well, it'll have to happen. I mean, anyone that plays them is going to be an upset if they were to win. So
Pretty
that's
much.
good logic, Corey. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's okay.
All right, so we had 4-4s and 6-2s. Not bad. I like that. Did oh the other, I thought we had one more that picked. Was that all it picked?
Um. Yeah. Just pick the Chapel Hill game.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
38-17.
Yeah, who had the score? That's one thing we need to add. Who had the score? Now I
The
know.
closest score was Christian. He had 57-10.
All right, Christian, good job.
That was that would have been the closest
I
one.
actually played safe this week, and I shouldn't have because
Yeah, I have. Mine was actually close. It was 49-21. I was
Here you
8 points
go,
off. So, but I mean, he had 57-10, so that still looked good either way. But
yeah, pretty good scores. So I guess we'll just go ahead and talk about last week's game. Who wants to start with your like your one thing that you saw that impressed you, or you just that you noticed about this week's game that stuck out?
The coaching for me,
hmm,
like I think I've been reading a lot of the stuff that they've been saying on the Friday Night Football app, and a lot of people think that we haven't played anybody for Lindell's side, and I think that Athens is actually really good, but I think they got out coached. I think that we hit them early, and it took the quarterback out of his game. One thing I will say is that tailback is exactly who we thought he was. Like he gets like my honorable mention because that dude right there is a downhill runner, and once he gets going, like there ain't no stopping him.
Okay, so I'm curious to see who do y'all think he reminds you of running style?
Go ahead.
Corey knows where I'm going with this. Corey knows where I'm going with this. I'm just curious.
I think Derrick Henry.
I like. I hadn't had enough. I hadn't seen him enough, but I mean, he looks like Jerome Bettis. No,
That's
no
what I
doubt. He
said.
looks like
That's what
Jerome Bettis. He really
Like
does.
that's what I
he is
said.
built like him. I think I felt like he ran. I can see that because I know how Jerome was too. I
He
felt like
just
he
would
ran
run
like
straight forward and just gonna run over you no matter like if you
You
got in
know,
his
yeah.
way,
he
you
had.
just
I
I mean,
said
he had
Derrick
quick
Henry just
feet. I will
because I
say
know
he.
Derrick Henry is a downhill runner, and once
yeah,
he
I
gets
like Derrick
started, there's
Henry.
no stopping him.
Okay.
I mean, it's it. He really, to me, I hadn't seen enough film to kind of get his running style. But I mean, he reminds me. He looks like Jerome Bettis. His running style, I mean, could be of a Frank Gore. He didn't
I
seem
think
very tall.
yeah.
So I mean, Frank Gore is real low, center to the ground. I mean, he's really not a bruiser, but he's real good at carrying the ball. So I have to see more of the game. But I mean, just by the looks of it, man, he's beefy. I will say that.
The only thing was that I felt like
So Corey, what is
we saw where like he ran and ran and ran, and then all of a sudden he was just like, no, I need out, you know. And I was like, man, he got to get in that shape because if he gets in that shape,
yeah.
he'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, he ran out of breath. I saw him call himself out
Yeah, and the coach
and
was
he
like,
was
nah, you need to stay in there.
he left him in one more play and then he took him out. He was out for several plays in a row there.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so I think he just they ran him enough where he needed some blows. Uh okay, Corey, what's your one word take on what you saw that popped out to you?
Um, Shout out to the Blue Storm defense. Um, and I've said it before. I keep prefacing to like week one. Guys will come up and make plays, and McFoy's made the plays. Our defense has made plays every single week, and they continue to make plays every single week. So, they shout out to the defense. Paying attention to details, and knocking out the park. So, shout out to the defense.
Yeah, Chris says he agrees. Jerome Bettis or Ron Dane.
That's a good one. Ron Dane's a good one.
Run
That's
Dang,
a
yeah.
good one.
Run Dang, I
Ron
like
Dane's a
that too.
good one. The the,
Defense
the, the
played well.
unspoken Ron Dane. Nobody remembers how good Ron Dane was in Wisconsin. So
Yeah. Defense played well early. That's what gave us the great gameplay on offense. Yeah, the defense did. Okay, so the word I'm going to go with is depth. You're starting to see depth the farther we get to the season. They're starting to really rely on, okay, you're going to play offense and you're going to play defense, and they're kind of sticking with that for the most part. You rarely are seeing guys cross over and having to play both sides, and I think that's really going to help us as we go through the season. So we've got a lot of guys that can play either side of the ball, but they can focus on one side. And I think you saw that um, on the interception returns. Okay, so you got McFoy scored on offense and on defense, and you also had Brisbane, sorry, that scored on offense and on defense. You had two guys that really focus on one side, but they can play the other side. I mean, you've got so much talent out there. I think that's really what's going to help us as we go because you've got a lot of these teams that, they're playing both ways and they're getting tired. And what happens when you get tired, guys? What's more likely to happen?
start making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what's likely to happen when you're tired? You get hurt
Oh, okay. I
because
was
Yeah.
thinking
you're
something else.
because basically you're if you're winded, you think you can do something that you can't, and that's when you put yourself in a bad spot to get hurt. So I think that's going to help us too because we can keep these guys in and out. And if you notice, Samari Willis wasn't out there very much this last game.
Mm-mm.
Okay, they didn't have to play him. Like he had that injury at the end of the game last week, and they didn't have to play him a whole lot. They also had Austin Watkins sit out the first half. I did talk to him this week. That was a coach's punishment from last week's two
Yeah.
personal unsportsmanlike. And
Good for him.
so, I mean, I talked to him. He said he's learned his lesson. He's going to get by. So that's great. I shout out to the coaches for enforcing that. When you've got a stud like Watkins out there, how hard is it to sit him on the bench for first half of your first district game before you know what's going to happen? You don't know it's going to be 50-7 at halftime at that point. Now, in retrospect, I mean, they didn't need him, but they didn't know that for sure how that was going to turn out. I think the plays of the game. There was 3 plays in my mind that changed that whole game. We were up 7-0. Athens was driving. Okay, we get the interception picked off. McFoy probably, when I first saw it, he probably should have just taken it in the end zone, but he ran out, and I was like, oh. And then he got to the 20. I was like, wait a second, he might have a hole. And then he just put another gear and ran on the sideline. Then the second play was the onside kick.
Yeah.
I mean, how gutsy is that in the first quarter to go onside kick? They weren't ready for it. It bounced. It was one of the better onside kicks you'll see. It bounced right off Athens and then right to Chapel Hill. I mean, there was like 2 or 3 guys that could have recovered it. That was play 2. The next one was the throw over. The next play, the throw over to Deuce McGregor, which and then turned threw the ball down the field to Tyson Berry this time for the touchdown. Boom, boom, boom. It went from could be 7-7 game to 21-0, and from then on, they just
like I said, I think that coach's decision kind of broke them early, and you could tell like the quarterback kind of just wasn't there anymore after that. And I could tell they do have like a more of a passing offense. Mm-hmm. He just wasn't. He wasn't there. You know, he wasn't there for it.
I'll say this: the game plan from that you can kind of tell the game plan early on was, let's see how good of a football. Well, it's how good a football team they are. They've probably been ahead in most games they played in. Well, let's just see if we put them in a hole and see if they can come back. Because a running football team controls the clock, and they're gonna give it to their bell cow no matter what. And they got a pretty good pass, a pretty good arm, but we haven't seen them throw the football as much. Maybe there's not a lot of scouting tape on them throwing the football 40 times a game. Let's just kind of put that in the hands of the team. Are they going to get out of the rhythm of running the football, or what? You know what I'm saying? So if they're down 21, 28 nothing, you got to pass the football. You're not going to be able to run the football all game, and that alleviates one side of what they're good at. So now they have to pass the football. Now you have to get out of your game plan. So that was it's a mind game. It's a chess move. That was good. And then if it backfired if it backfired on us, then yeah, we'll just back in the hole. We'll just continue to play, checkers or chess, whatever. But it worked. And so now that took them out of their game plan for a little bit. So you can't run him as much. You can't run the ball and control the clock as much. So now you have to pass the football. Now you have to put the ball in your hands. They may have had inexperienced wide receivers. They may not have been very good at passing. They may have been playing games where they didn't have to pass the ball as much. So that was a good game plan. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, because Chapel Hill can play from ahead or behind. Yeah. They got the running game and the passing game to play that way. But some of the teams that we played, if you can put them in a hole early, I think Livingston was one of those. They were like a solid running team. We put them in a hole early, kind of put them in a tough spot. Same way with this one with Athens. So it was a smart strategy by Coach Reardon and company, and it paid off. I mean, I predicted 42-14, I believe, and I was feeling pretty good about that early. I was like, okay, we're doing it, and then it just kept scoring. I was like, wow, I undershot this one, and just I mean, it could have been. In all fairness to Athens, I mean, it could have been 75, whatever, 70. I mean, it could have been 70-something to 14 or something. I mean, they could have just
kind of guessing that the defenses were going to show up and kind of slow down both offenses. That's why I picked the score I picked. But
Athens had only allowed 28 points. Athens had allowed 28 points all season long, and they gave up 50 in one half.
Yeah.
What did Anchorman say? What did Ron Burgundy say? That really got out of hand.
It did, and we were up in the box, just kind of in awe of what was going on. I mean, it's just like you could have taken and drawn up how you wanted the first half to go, and I don't think even Coach Reardon could have drawn up what happened in that first half the way it did. I mean, it was almost a perfect storm with everything going Chapel Hill's way. I mean, it really was. I mean, you couldn't have scripted it any better. I don't think. I mean, maybe Athens doesn't score. That would have been the only thing. You hang half a century up on someone in the first half. I mean, against a
But it's
district team that's 4-0.
now you're thinking about it. Teams aren't what the Hallsville game was the only game where you had them scoring more points in the first half than they did in the second half, because most of the time we have our subs or third string third string and second string guys playing majority of the fourth quarter. So and that's when we're giving up majority of our points in the second half. We're already up by 4 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns. So if you think about it, man, we're really not giving up that many points as far as the starting lineup, the starting
Yeah,
first team and second string go.
yeah. Your defense
That's
is allowing a lot less than what it's averaging right now. I mean, it really is because you're getting a lot of bodies in there. I mean,
mm-hmm.
lot
A
of
lot of
guys. Like
experience.
everybody's playing in these games. Everybody's getting in there. So
Yep.
I mean, you're. I mean, we're probably averaging what we like 20 something points a game on average against maybe on defense. Maybe not somewhere in there.
That
20.
36 hit a put a dent, but I'll probably say about 28 points.
Yeah, but you got to think 2 touchdowns of that probably could be taken off of their average if you're going to take off the last quarter of
Yeah,
when they're just giving up. I mean, just giving up points off of reserve.
I still can't believe Greenville put up 36. I'm that still shocks me, right? Like Greenville
Yeah.
put up 36 points.
Well, I mean, it was early too. You
It
got to think
was.
with Coach McFarland taking over the defense and probably changing some things up. Takes a little bit of time to get totally used to a new D coordinator. So I chalk some of that up to there, and a lot of these guys it's their first time to play together in a real game. So I mean,
Makes a big difference.
guys, y'all are quiet tonight in the chat. Get your chats in. I've heard from Chris and Christian. Anyone else on tonight? Feel free to chat. I'm gonna call somebody out tonight. Hope y'all
Somebody
join me in
waiting on the picks.
calling somebody out. I'm calling out Drew 20 tonight.
Mm.
Oh, mm,
I'm calling him out. He watches every week, and he always makes the excuse of, "Oh, well, I picked this and this and this. I would have beat y'all." I'm calling him out this week. Put your picks on the chat. I don't care if you're watching this at 10 o'clock tonight, whenever. Put your picks on in paper and pencil. Put them down.
so it's official. So
Yep.
it's official.
He's
Okay.
been talking noise to me and Vince in the press box. Oh, I got these picks. I got this. Vince knows.
Yeah.
So I
I
need
mean,
those picks.
he told me before the final score, before they even had 50, he told me what he put down on paper. And I was like, man, that for sure would have won. I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure they're about to score again. So I
Yeah,
kind of believed him. I was like, man, like,
I do, but I want to see it because he
yeah,
always like, oh,
It's
I
not
watch it.
official.
Yeah,
This is the
I watch.
official. This is the official pick line.
Yeah, I watch it every week. Well, then put your picks in. We can go back and look at the chat and
Mm.
see it.
you know, Drew.
Add him in there.
Drew's laid back. He don't want no camera time or none of that. He just want to watch. Yeah,
It's okay.
I get
Hey,
it.
it's all right.
I'm
It's
like
all
that on
right.
Facebook. I don't really like to write a whole lot. I just watch, see what other people are saying.
Hey, well, all I'm saying is you don't have to get on video to just post your picks in the chat. It ain't that hard. Come on, Drew.
He's calling him out.
Yeah.
He's calling him out.
The the pick'em champ is calling you out.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. See, he said the
Mm.
pick 'em champ. Okay. All right. See, y'all gonna make me go undefeated this week,
Hey,
just
I'm.
for the sake of it.
Hey, why not? If your picks are 22-2 on the year, you'd say you were the pick'em champ too.
Okay. All right. All right. I've been picking long shots on purpose, but it's okay. It's all right.
Long shots on purpose. I just go to pick who I think is going to win. If there's a close game, I might take a underdog. That if it's a close one, but I don't know half these teams. I mean, toward the beginning when I know the district teams, it was a little easier. But you know, I know Argyle's good. That's
Yeah,
a but. All right, so y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about on this past week's game?
yeah.
You got any?
I saw the stat. I know I mentioned the Blue Storm defense and just some stats, man. They had what for the year they've had 12 sacks, 5 forced, 5 ints, 3 touchdowns already. With 5 fumbles, and 1 safety, and then 30 tackles for a loss. So, man, shout out to the defense for paying attention to detail and making plays because you can't win championships without making plays. That's important.
Yeah, man. The defense is crazy. I see what Hector wrote up there. Um, I don't know if you put it up there yet, but man,
I
Hector,
got you. I got
I don't
Hector.
think there was a way to stop that dude in that backfield. He was just too. There was one play where I think McFloyd took his legs out from up under him. I think that was the only way he was gonna stop him. I think he's one of those dudes. He just gonna stop himself. But luckily, we took the game from them, so we it wasn't a whole lot he could do. But I will say this: me and Drew, we came up with a nickname for Brack Dyer. We starting to call him the vacuum because like he sucks up and cleans up all the mess out there. Like he's in on every single play. I mean, every play he is there. Every every other tackle it's him. Even if it's somebody else, he's right there with him. Like I mean, he listen. I told Drew when we was in the booth, I said, man, this boy, I don't see how you don't. I don't see how he don't go D1. I don't know how big he is and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, like this dude is on. He's everywhere. He's all over the field. That's what
Okay,
you do.
J.K.
so you would think that now. I have talked to several people, and they said he's not interested in playing football after school.
What?
Yeah,
What? Oh, Brad, give me your talent. Let me go back. Turn the clock. Give me your talent. I'll do it.
call him out right here. Call him out right here, Vince. So you need to
Bro,
go.
J.K. That's all I'm gonna say.
bro, he is. That's too much,
No
bro. You don't
J.K.
understand. Like I remember. What was his name? There was a dude a long time ago. Derek Johnson, and I don't know if y'all remember him. He was
Barry
a
Johnson, University of
yeah,
Texas
yeah,
linebacker.
and he,
Yeah,
he came from around this the East Texas like area, but um, I remember a friend of mine got a chance to play against him, and that night he called me and he said, "Man, now this is before he ever went to UT and everything." He said they got this dude, this linebacker dude, and he is fast as everybody we had on our team, and he was on every single play. He was there making the tackle. Like there was nothing we could do to outrun him. That's how I feel about watching Bright. Like I don't think you can outrun him. I don't think you can. He's so good at recognizing the play. He don't even get lost with all that nonsense they do. He follows the ball perfectly. And for him, man, that's cool because everybody, football ain't everybody's thing. I don't think I really got super big into football till later on, even though I did play. Um, man, that's a lot of talent. That's a whole lot of talent, man. That can get you into college easy, easy. I'm gonna call the Longhorns. I'm gonna let them know something. I'm gonna tell them, listen, you got to talk this kid into playing. We need him.
he's a very good player. That's for
Man,
sure.
he is amazing.
Uh, One other thing that I want to talk about, we can look at next week. We'll go on to next week's game after this. Is let's look at the the stats for last week's game, just to kind of give everybody props. Here, let's see. We got some stats. Here we go. All right, so we had. Oh, wow, this is interesting. Okay, how many? What do y'all think Tyler Jones went this week? If y'all were to guess,
I
y'all might be
actually
looking
didn't
at the
look at his stats, but I would say he probably threw for 300.
like how many passes.
Oh,
Oh,
how
he
many
only had
passes did he
10.
throw?
10.
Yeah, like what was? Do you think his percentage was, or his, completes versus attempts?
I was at the game. I mean, maybe I would say he completed 12 passes out of 20.
Corey.
I cheated. I already know the answer.
Okay, well, you cheater. Cheaters never win, Corey. It's not nice.
Well, it's not cheating. I did my research. I always do
You're
my
ruining
research.
my stats here. Okay, so here's the stats, Mr. Johnson. He went 10 of 10 for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Man,
If this is correct, Chapel Hill as a team did not have an incomplete pass, which is
I'm
coming
trying to
from their
think.
stats. So
Did I not
12,
see a complete pass and an incomplete pass?
12 of 12. Yeah, Brisbane and McGregor each had one pass apiece. Of course, McGregor is the one that he passed to Barry for the touchdown,
Yeah,
for that dagger touchdown. So 12 of 12, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Hmm.
QB rate of 177.1. I'm assuming that's perfect. I don't know that, but two of the guys that threw perfect had that rating, and the whole team combined was that. I'm guessing. I don't know what the quarterback rating like top is. I feel like it's not that high in the NFL though. I think it was like 150 something, or I don't remember. I don't know exactly, but I feel like it's not that high.
I
But
think that
that
I think Aaron Rodgers had a perfect passer rating one game. I thought.
I think it was. I think theirs is like 150 something for some reason. I don't
Oh,
remember
okay.
ever
I see
seeing a
what you're
one.
saying.
I don't remember ever seeing a 177. I feel like that's probably max because I don't see how you could do much better than that right there. Uh, I mean, I don't know, but anyway, long story short, impressive. That's all I can say there. Then you had this many guys run the ball: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 runners, and you didn't have J.K. Davis touch the ball, and you didn't have um, gosh, went blank all of a sudden. Samari Willis touched the ball.
Nope.
Coming into the season, we talked about the three-headed attack between Brooks, Davis, and Willis, and those two guys aren't even having to carry the ball. They're getting to focus on offense, and again, look who led the team in rushing. The freshman, Ricky Stewart, 5 carries, 42 yards. I mean,
Easy money.
every week he seems like he just keeps getting better. I mean, he didn't have as many yards this week, but his touches are very good touches. I mean, when he touches the ball, he's got the ability to just boom, be gone every time. So I like that. Now you go down here to the receiving, and since we didn't throw a lot of passes, you think, oh, we didn't have that many yards, but you just didn't have a whole lot of guys catch it. Barry, McGregor, McFoy, and Ross, but three out of 4 guys had touchdowns. So I
Right.
mean, when they're getting the ball, they're making something happen with it. Really, you had Ross 1 catch for 3 yards, which that was in cleanup duty at the end of the game. So really, you've got those 3 guys, and the only reason you don't have Watkins on this list because he didn't play the first half, which is when all the scoring happened. And he went out there the second half, but they weren't
Mm-hmm.
really. They were mostly running the ball, as you can tell. So, I mean, if
And
you
those are
look
on
down
all
this,
big plays. So most of those are
no,
on all big plays as well. So
yeah, yeah. So just looking at, and then we go down here and see about the defensive stats because we know we want to give some guys some love on defense. Uh, there's your boy Brack Dyer with 12 tackles.
Nah,
Mm.
that's wrong. There's more than that. There's way more than that.
Well, that's what it's showing.
That was way more.
You
Me
have
and Drew, we counted 12 in one drive. Now,
you got you got McFoy with 11 and J.K. Davis with 10. So I mean, Mosley had 2 sacks. Of course, you had McFoy and Brisbane both with the interceptions. So and Tamayo was as normal, just was kicking the ball like crazy deep.
Man,
I
shout
mean,
out to him. He's got a video on Twitter. He's kicking the 60-yard field goal in practice. Hey,
yeah.
shout outs.
he definitely can get himself a full ride somewhere with that.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the
Cause
field goal.
yeah, cause my boy Justin Tucker with that incredible field goal over the weekend. I know y'all caught that highlight.
Well, yeah, he gave me 16 points. So yeah, of course I caught that.
66 yards.
Yeah, that
Man,
was crazy.
66 yards.
That was crazy, and it bounced. It bounced and fell in. I just man, I about jumped out of my. I did jump out of my seat. So that was
How'd
dope.
y'all do this? How'd y'all do this weekend on your teams?
I won
Anybody win
mine.
any game this one?
I'm still struggling in two of the
I won
leagues,
mine.
and I got a third one where I'm undefeated. So
I think I actually won again this week. I believe. Yeah, I'm 3-0. I'm just trucking on along.
I would be 3
Uh,
and 0, but I had a tie. But it's okay.
did you tie with Drew
Me and Drew,
or was
me and
that
Drew
somebody
square off
else?
this week. It was someone
Oh,
else.
okay,
Yeah, me and Drew
okay,
square off this week.
okay. All right. Well, uh, I mean, it's kind of interesting that my team. I didn't think my team was going to be that good at first, but Zeke's come on. He's played well the last couple games, so he's helped me a lot. Uh, let's see, Drew. I was just trying to look at the standings. I guess Drew's 3-0 too.
Yeah.
So I wonder when I get to play him. And you got Vince. Are you the deflator?
yeah,
You're definitely deflated. No,
yeah,
everybody else has won one game.
yeah. It's my penance. Hey, don't. Hey, last year, tell them about me. Last year, I went undefeated. Do y'all know anybody that won a championship that went undefeated? Because I did. I just it just
uh,
it just so happened that this is what happens when you win a championship, man. It don't work out for you the next year.
Would you get deflated after you win the title? That's crazy.
I'm just taking a
Yeah,
year off, man. I'm letting
he
somebody
got
else get it.
title hangover.
I'm letting
He got
somebody
title
else get it.
hangover.
oh man. Well, here's Chris got in a pretty good chat here. 2022 class was 2-6 in eighth grade. They were 3-5 in ninth grade when I coached them that year. 2 games got rained out.
Mhm.
So they said they knew they were going to be very good. I guess with his son's 2023 class. So that's good for them. They're finally getting some love.
Get some
I
clock.
tell you, they got some good talent. And they mix it in with that good junior class, and
Yeah,
it's going to be some good years. I don't know what the sophomore class. I know the freshman class is going to be
Really
really good
good.
as well. So
that's the class everybody's afraid of.
yeah, they've
Yeah,
got.
and everybody's meshing well right now, so everybody looking good. So
I know it's the nice thing about this year. You do have all that talent all at once, and so the more those freshman guys can develop right now, the better it's going to be for them now and later. So I
yep.
mean, right now you could start 2 freshmen in the backfield and not blink an eye. Right now, I mean they're playing as well as anybody. Only reason that Bribson's not out there is because Tyler Jones is so incredible. So I mean, when you got that much talent.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about this week's game. We got Lindale. Who wants a piece of Lindale? I sure do. After last season,
I
they
think
put it to
everybody
us.
does.
They put it to us, and man, it's gonna be a game. I think it's gonna be. I want to say we're just gonna go in and just smoke them, but I just something about playing in Lindale. Uh, I know we're going to be playing against a couple of the striped shirts, I'm sure, and it just seems like we don't get calls when we go up out in Lindale. But I'm excited about it. What is y'all's first, I guess, thoughts on the game? Just kind of like one thought, whatever. What sticks out to you that's going to be most important in this one?
It's a business trip. It's a business trip.
I agree
You
with
go
that.
in, handle business. You go in, you don't. Whatever happened last week happened last week. It's over. Dust it off. Whatever. But it's a business trip. Go in, take care of business. You go home. You own one. Like I said, to me, these games are, besides X's and O's, these are easy games to coach. Because do you remember what happened last year?
When they
Okay,
ran all over us.
yeah. Don't let that happen again. Like with that's so that motivation to play harder is already there. Now you have to pay attention to detail, the game plan, your containment, your containment drills, your scouting report. Everything is so important this week. You don't have to teach you X's and O's. It's game time. Every day this week is game time every single day. So this is an easy game to prep, but hard game to play because it ends up being more mental than anything. But it's a business trip, going with your mind frame set. They set the tone early. There's no point looking back, and just go in, just take care of business, and go home. They're not up, they're down. They're still trying to battle. It's a new season, so it's district. Anything happened in preseason is whatever. So they're 1-0. Lindale's 1-0 right now. So that you got to tell them that too. Hey, listen, we're coming to take care of business. So this team's really coming to look for an upset. Don't let them get any kind of advantage. Take care of business. Go home. That's what I tell them.
All right, Vince, what about you?
I kind of agree with Corey. It's business. I mean, it really it feels real personal to me. Like they really embarrassed. I don't even want to say embarrassed. Like they really put it on us last year. And it was just it was full throttle. They didn't slow up. And I one thing that always bothers me about watching games is when I see people run the same stuff over and over and over again. And
the
so that you've heard me talk about this before, like that I don't know why, but I just really feel
Chapel Hill 2 or
disrespected.
3 years ago did that.
Yeah, I
Run
feel
left,
disrespected when I
run
see other
right.
people do us like that.
Hmm.
Like we ain't. Oh, they ain't got it yet. We gonna just do it again. We gonna keep running until they figure something out.
Why not? Why
Like
change it?
yeah, and I agree. If it was me on the other side of it, oh, of course I would do the same thing. But when I'm on my side of it, where I'm watching my team get beat, and all they doing is running 43 power, all night up the middle.
The middle. Straight up the
Well, I
middle.
mean,
Yeah, and
you got a bell count like they had. I would have ran the football too. There's no point in the quarterback throwing the ball
yeah.
30 times a game. You can run the ball 20 times or 30 times and still get the same amount of yards on the ground. Why pass it? And you control the clock and win the game that way. That's a good game plan. But until you can stop us, you know, try to stop me. Now the quarterback doesn't have a decent running back. Now he's more open to pass the ball now, like they've been doing. So obviously they can pass the football. They beat,
Well,
Maybank. You can't run the football, being down by 20 some points. So you're gonna have to pass the football eventually.
well,
So
I
I
guess
mean,
what I'm saying is that last year they just kept running a lot of the same
yeah.
stuff on us. Um, but this year we're gonna make them open up the playbook because that little up the middle ain't gonna work this time. It
Yeah,
ain't
I
gonna.
don't want to. I don't want to jinx it, but so far we've kind of shut that down. I mean, we've given
Yeah.
up a few small plays, but nothing big like we had last year. I mean, I don't know how many times that happened, but I would say probably close to double digits. They ran it straight up the middle, and it was choop, all the way for a touchdown. Multiple teams: Lindale, Kilgore, Center, just to name a few. I mean, I, I'm hopeful that we're not going to have that problem. I do think Lindale will score. I think they've got enough talent and athletes. I think they'll score on us. I think it'll be our probably so far our biggest test for our defense. As far as let's see how many points they allow if they have to play if they play an entire game. which I hope that our backups are in the fourth quarter. I don't think they will be this game. I think it's going to be a lot tighter of a game than I want it to be, but I don't think it's going to be a nail biter either. I just think it's going to make our defense probably play the whole game. So let's see how many points they can stop Lindo from getting. I still think, and not to give any spoilers of my prediction, I think Lindale is going to score maybe if not the most points, close to the most points against us that we've allowed all season. Just because I think they're a really good team. I don't. They've lost a few, but they're still going to be a good team because the teams that they've lost to, I know Kaufman, which we saw them in basketball, and they also won the 7-on-7, so we know they've got some talent. Um, the shocker, I mean, Van, obviously they're lower, but I think they're a good enough talent that they will. Um, they've given anybody a good runway. Just put the spanking on. Was that who was that they put the spanking on last? I was kind of surprised. Oh, Gladewater. Or was that Henderson? Maybe that was Henderson. Van beat somebody really bad, and I was really surprised. But I guess they're just that good. Um, but I think the Lindale losses are credible losses. They're not losing to you know podunk teams. So I think coming in, they're going to be a lot better than their record. I just don't want us to take, and I don't think we will, but look at that 2-3 and like, oh, Lindale's just not, they're just not any good this year. I think Lindale's not as good as they were last year. I think they were an elite team last year. Now I think they're a very good team. And so I think that if we can come in and play our game, we'll handle them. But I do think it's going to be a challenge. I want to see our defense play a team like Lindale. Does that make sense to y'all? Like I want to see them play somebody that we know is a very good team and see if they can stop them like they have some of these other teams. Not to discredit the rest of our schedule, but I think this is going to be our toughest game yet.
I agree.
Yeah, looking at their schedule, I mean, all their wins and losses have kind of just been edged out a little bit. I mean, that first game they lost by three, then turn around and they won against Pine Tree by two, and then Linden, I mean, I'm sorry, Van, they lost by four, and then Gilmer they lost. That was Gilmer was their biggest loss. Gilmer was
Well, Gilmer's
Gilmer
number
was
two in the
14.
state. I
Yeah.
mean, so
And
in
then the
Division
Maybank
Two.
game, even though that was their biggest win, they dropped that 30 in the second. Well, they dropped 20 something in the second half, wasn't it? Because I think they only had seven in the first half.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. They were
Yeah.
down. I want to say it was it 20-13 at half or something like that. I don't know. Some.
No,
It
no,
was.
no.
They were.
They were losing at the half. They were losing at the
Yeah,
half.
yeah. That's what I was. I said. I was thinking that Maybank was up 20-13
Yeah.
at the
No,
half.
Maybank
Yeah.
only finished with 13. So Maybank had 13, and I thought they had
Maybe it was
seven.
13-7 then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It was
Okay, so it was 13
13-7.
to 7. I think Maybank scored. I think it made it 20-7, and I think Lindale scored the rest or something.
Yeah, they went on. They Lindell. I mean, not Lindell, but maybe they didn't score like the second half or something like that.
Nah,
Yeah,
they finished. It was the game. The final score was 30-13. So
was
maybe
it?
they didn't score after that
Okay,
first half at all.
well, they
But
were up.
they turned it up. I just the Gilmer game to me, if I had to guess, the Gilmer game would have been their toughest competition before us. Um, and they lost by 14 in that one. I
Which
don't
is
think they've seen a
respectable.
team that can score that fast like we can. We're like, how Golden State was a couple of years back. It just seemed like no matter how much they were down by, they could just make up the difference. Like I feel like that's how we are. Like we're clicking on all cylinders. So like it just works for us that way. Like we go down the field, we score, we make all these big plays, man. And even when we don't make the big ones, it's hard to slow us down as far as like us moving the ball forward, inching it forward.
So many
I
weapons.
I said
Yeah.
this. I said this when we were recording the podcast. And I said, there's championships in the details. And if they're wanting to win a championship, the little bitty things, they have to pay attention to the little bitty things. Everything is inch by inch by inch by inch. The tackles, the third down conversions, the trick plays, the punts. The scouting report. The substitution. Everything counts. It's not the big plays. The big plays are the big plays, but in order to get a big play in football, everything adds up. So this has to work. This has to work. This has to work. So if they're trying to win a championship, they're trying to win a district title first, and trying to move on to the second and third and fourth round, all the way to the state championship game. They've got to pay attention to this is one of those detailed games. Lindale has that thing over the head, but we beat you already. We already know we can beat you. You're our little brother. We're the biggest team in the district. You're basically our little brother at this point. I don't care how many championships you have. We've already beat you twice. We've already gotten this far. You know, and then they got the community behind them. They're playing a home game. This is that. I don't want to say it's that peak, but this is that game right before the rest of the trap games we've got to get past. If we want to know how good we are at this point in the season, and I think Athens was a decent football team. Don't get me wrong, but I think we were better. I still think I say we're better than Lindale by hands down. But like I said, it's a mental game to this point. What if Lindale comes out and they score 14 unanswered points? How do we respond? Lindale is not Hallsville. Lindale's a better football team than Hallsville is. So you're playing against a team that's been to the state championship before. They have a pedigree. They
Hey,
played.
I
They've
would
gotten there
say
before.
Lindale's schedule was tough. I mean, Maybank was their own. Maybank, that was their only loss was to Lindale. Gilmer's only loss was just this past week, and Van ain't lost a game yet.
Yeah.
Who is
So
that?
like
I
I
got you,
said, they're
man.
I mean they're battle tested. So like I said,
Yeah.
it's to the
Now,
point in time where they've got to come out. Like I
Country's
said,
2-2.
it's more. I don't even want to look at they're 1-0 right now in district. No matter what they did in
Kaufman is
preseason,
5
preseason
wins.
don't even matter. They're 1-0 in district. So that's what I look at if I'm telling the guys, no matter who they play, they're 1-0 in district. They can still go undefeated and win district and make it to the state championship game no matter what. They
Yeah.
may catch strides. So this is very important that they pay attention to the little things. Don't get caught on the record who they played. That doesn't even matter at this point. Like I said, it's a business trip. You go in, you take care of business no matter what happened last week, no matter what happened the week after that. You take care of business tonight because Lindale is more importantly, they're focusing on Chapel Hill because they know that Chapel Hill is going to come in ranked. They're going to come in with confidence, and they already know that they have home court or home field advantage. So this is a good game. Whether it doesn't get game of the week or red zone or whatever on the east side, this is a very big game for this district. No matter what, huge game for the district. And more importantly, I want to see how our guys come out and perform. That's what I want to see. I want to see how our guys come out and play this week. Very big game.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Corey, on that one.
See, you need to get on
Uh,
in here with me.
so does Hector. Hector gives you a shout out. Said you nailed it.
So appreciate that. Took me a while.
Chloe, I
Had to
got
go and
medicine
come
for
back.
you to take.
Yeah, Hector's going to be in town this week for this game. He'll be try to meet up before a game, get a pregame meal with Hector. So it's going to be exciting times. Think Vince, you're going to be there live this week for the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to
Live
try to, man. Trying to get over this little bug that I got from my daughter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Don't blame that. Don't blame that innocent little Chloe, man. She didn't do that to you,
that
man.
daycare she go to, boy, them kids, man, listen, them germs. I'm telling you, no disrespect to COVID and who done survived it, but boy, them germs them kids got, I don't understand it. Like,
No,
and it
those are the
don't ever
same
die
germs you
off.
had growing
It
up.
never dies off. It just passes from one kid to the next, and it just goes around and around and around. And I'm trying to fight it off now because I took care of her on Monday because she was out, and I mean I'm a little better now, but I'm just trying to fight that cough and the night after.
You got to take those letters. Remember vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D,
Oh,
vitamin
oh
E.
man, I've been doping up on all of that. What is that? Elderberry
Don't
and
Yeah.
don't forget
all
the
of that.
vitamin L.
So I've been doping up. I bought my ticket though. I bought my ticket today, so
Oh, we had to
I
buy them
plan on being
online.
there.
We had to buy them online.
Yeah, yeah, I bought them online.
So you are going to buy your ticket? I was
Yeah,
going to
because
tell you.
Tommy is coming. He bought his
I was,
ticket too, so I
I was
didn't
going
want
to
to
tell
leave him
you.
out there by himself.
No, I actually had my district pass. I was going to use, but I didn't think about it. I don't ever use it because I just get in free doing the game. So.
Yeah, I just he told me. I asked him today. I said, "Man, are you for sure going? Because I could get in here, without having to pay. But if you're going, I'll go ahead and buy my ticket. And I'll sit with you." So
All
he
right,
went ahead and got it. So
Corey, you gonna make it out? Or are you just gonna
I'm
catch
not.
the live broadcast?
I'm gonna catch. It's more convenient on Fridays for me to catch the live broadcast and catch it.
Hey, when you've got such a good color commentator on Friday nights, man, I would stay home too if I was you.
I actually enjoy it. I actually enjoy
Yeah,
it.
Logan and I'll have that game on TexanLive.com. So those of you that aren't able to make it out to Lindale have other plans, you can catch it on your phone or on your smart TV, TexanLive.com. So should be fun, fun game. Y'all want to do some score predictions on this one?
yeah,
Yeah, let's
let's
go
do
for
it.
this one.
All right, Casey Joe up. Casey Joe's here back with us. Nothing like being in the crowd. I agree. It's being
I
sometimes.
like being in the crowd.
It's it's kind of like my sacrifice for the team. Yeah, I enjoy doing the games, and we
Yeah.
get pretty good seats in the press box. It's a nice gig, but it is different than getting to go to the game live. So I
Casey,
understand that totally. Uh,
bring Clayton with you. Bring Clayton with you. I haven't seen him lately. I used to work with her husband, so um, he's a really good friend of
all
mine.
right, so what are y'all thinking this week? I kind of got my
I told Drew I was never going to pick less than 50 again, so I'm gonna hold true to that.
see. Here's my thinking. I'm like, I've got my score that I'd like to see, and I've got my realistic score that I'm going to pick because I just think that Lindale's going to score on us. I don't want to say that, but I think they're going to get some points on us just because of what they've done. So I'm going to go ahead and go first so that y'all don't think I'm copying you. So I'm going to go with 56-35 Chapel Hill.
Okay.
I hope it's a lot less than that, but I see Lindale's how many points they're putting up on a weekly basis. I think they're going to be the best offense probably that we've played, and so I'm going to go. I'm going to go with that. Now, if we get less than that and I lose, I'm fine with that. As long as Chapel Hill wins the game, we do this all in fun, but I'd rather be lower than that. But that's just what I'm trying to guess about what I think is going to be. So let's see if we got anybody else. I know we had some. Did you get those ones from earlier, Corey, in the
Yeah, I
chat?
got him.
Okay, so we
I
got
looked through this. Yep.
you got Christians 56-21
Mm-hmm. Got Casey
and
Joe.
Casey Joe 56-24. I like those. They're kind of in the same area, just a little lower on defense. See, I hope it's one of those. Yeah, I hope it's a lot.
I'm
Up here's
picking.
your answer, Vince.
yeah, okay, that's cool. Just tell him I said what's up. Haven't seen him in a while.
I'm picking 50, 50, FIDDY, 50 to
50,
14.
50 to
50,
14. All right, I like that. Hey, I'd be okay if you win.
50 to 14.
Man, I don't really want to go over 50 at all, but uh, I told Drew. He said, "Hey, he should hop on here." I told Drew I was never going to pick less than 50 again, just because every time I think it's going to be a low scoring game, a lot of defense. It's defense on our end, but not on the other team's end. So
But hold
I
on,
was
but before you say that, do not jinx us. So whatever you picking, pick the same thing that you would always pick.
pick the same thing that I always pick.
Now what you always pick. If you don't pick Don't pick over 50 then. Pick where you normally been picking. Don't jinx us.
I just feel like I'm gonna be wrong if I don't go over 50.
I don't care if you
So I'm
win
gonna
one
try it.
way or
I'm gonna
the
try
other.
it this one time. I'm gonna try it this one time. And if I end up being wrong and this game is like 28-21, then I'll go back. But I think I'm gonna go 52 to 35.
Oh, so you're kind of close to where I'm at then.
What'd you say? You said 56 to
50,
56
56 to
35.
35.
35. Well let me change up to 35.
Oh, look, he wants to change it now.
Because if we get close like that, we're gonna have to break that tie. Oh,
Hey, we're on the same wavelength then. You're
yeah.
thinking the same
I
thing as me.
mean, just looking at all their scores, they seem to cap out around 30.
Hey, listen. Yesterday's scores is not today's scores. You hear me?
Stop.
Yesterday's scores are not today's scores. Lindell, we coming and handling business. You hear me?
Hey,
We
I
coming and
agree.
handling business.
I
50 to
think
14.
I hope you're right. I just
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they don't get 30 at all. But
Yesterday's
I'm
them ain't
gonna
the
stick with
Lindell
that. I'm gonna
scores.
say
We're not
52
hyping them
35.
up. We on one. You know, I'm trying to be reserved right now. I'm real reserved. Y'all know how hype I get sometimes. I'm real reserved right now, but it's all good.
Yeah.
all right. So we got that game. Is anybody else gonna get in the score? If you want to get in that Chapel Hill Lindale score, go ahead and get it in the
Drew, I'm waiting
chat.
for your
Did
score.
we get
Drew, I'm waiting
Hector?
for your score.
Hector,
Hey, Drew.
did you get one in, Hector? I feel like Hector posted it earlier. Let me go back in the
Yeah, he
chat.
got it. He got 42 to 21.
42-21.
Okay. We got Blevins. We
I
got
got everybody.
Casey.
Okay.
Anybody else watching?
Yep.
You can post them
Anybody?
after too. You can post them after. So
Yeah, if you're not watching live, just follow along and just pick the score for the Chapel Hill game, and then the picks for the other games. So that's that's for you, Drew William Swinney.
William.
Uh,
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, I'm giving him a hard time this week, but
Ain't nothing like a middle name call out.
I, I just I just don't want to see him sit there and be like, oh, well, I beat you. Well, just go ahead and put it out there in writing. I'll admit when I lose. If y'all beat me one of these weeks, I'll just take it.
I mean, he can
It's
post it after the
it's
fact. I
all
mean, I don't know why he don't, but he can post it after the fact. He
it's
don't.
all it's all for fun anyway. It's just
It doesn't feel official if it didn't happen on the show. That's all I'm
yep.
saying.
It
It doesn't
doesn't.
feel official.
I want to see somebody beat us, all three of us, and join the show with us. I think it'd be great. I mean, I'm
Yes.
not that I want to lose, but I want to see somebody do it.
Unless they're OU fan, they can stay out.
Mm.
Hey, you almost got beat last week.
OU's
Oof,
about to get
so,
beat. OU's
oof.
about to get beat.
Hey, it's only a couple weeks away. Don't.
They got some struggles with their QB. You know, he was in a Netflix series.
Yeah.
Uh
I used
oh,
to watch that.
Hector. TCU versus the Longhorns this weekend. Oh, Hector.
TC
Man, I
who?
feel bad for you.
Yeah, Longhorns are rolling. I just feel like they've got the
Casey
cool quarterback.
Thompson should have started week 1, and that was it. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta say.
he had more turnovers during their like training camps and stuff. And that's why the other what was his name? Card. That's why Card
Yeah.
ended up being the starter, which I guess that makes sense. But I mean, obviously you
Maybe
can tell by watching them play, he's more calm under pressure.
I guess we should have made another pick. We should have done the TCU Texas game. That'd been it.
Well, we already know who's going to win.
Another lost
We
headache.
already know who's going.
We
Oh,
got two
okay.
that's already picked.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now we got TCU versus Texas. I see where we're going with this one. We got some TCU fans. Okay. Tejas. All right.
Hey,
Texas versus TCU. All right.
hey, we'll just add that as like our
All
bonus
right.
pick.
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. I know all three of us are going. We're going Texas. Okay.
We got Blevins and Hector probably going TCU. Anybody else
Yeah.
want to
Christian's got TCU. Okay.
and our bonus picks? So I guess y'all
Okay.
noticed Arkansas beat another team in Texas this weekend. Just
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
makes that loss not
Oh,
look
they
so
don't want to talk
bad.
about that.
Corey said it. He
They
said
won't talk
that.
about that. It was quiet in that building.
Wow.
It was quiet.
Wow.
Quiet as a church
What?
mouse.
Look at these scores coming in, guys.
What?
Man, we got some Horn Frog Nation on here.
The whole Blevins family is TCU. Oh man.
They must be OU fans. They're just picking anybody against Texas, I bet. I bet that's what they're doing. That's all right.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't pick OU either, so it's all fair there.
Okay. Fair enough. I get it.
Oh, we lost Corey for a second. Oh
Yeah, he
wait,
dropped out. There you go.
there he is. Man.
I guess it was an Aggie that was running the internet tonight. It was a bad Aggie. They had to get
You
bad
know
Aggies.
me. I just don't like Texas.
He doesn't like Texas. He says. All right. So since we got our special pick in, let's go on and do our other picks for the district first.
Whew.
You got those down. We got those. Corey's got those down. We kind of went over and picked those before the team or the games beforehand. What you got, Corey? Is it what's it
We got Henderson versus Athens.
Ooh, what's that? That's is that in Athens or in Henderson?
I don't know actually.
Let me see. I can tell you.
You do some research real quick.
It's in Athens.
In Athens.
So it's not in Taj Mahal in Henderson. It's in Athens.
I'm gonna say Athens. That's how much I'm telling you. I think Athens just got out coached. I think Athens has still got a decent team.
I'm gonna go Henderson. I'm gonna go Henderson.
I'm picking Henderson too.
I think Henderson still.
Please don't let me down Athens. I need this win.
I'm picking Henderson.
Don't let me down Athens.
I just think
got Athens.
I think Athens is too one-dimensional from what I see. I think if Henderson gets out ahead, like we did, then Athens doesn't have much of a chance. I didn't see much of a passing game. Now maybe they have something, but I didn't really see much of one.
So to me, the passing game wasn't there. But again, I think we just got the quarterback off caught him off guard. Because when you look at his numbers, his stats and stuff, they're close to Jones. So I wonder, he must be a decent passer.
This is the district. This is the district of doom. This is not preseason. I think. All right, so we've got Christian has Athens over Henderson. Casey Joe has Athens. Christian Blevins has Athens. Man, one Henderson for Chris. Man, this could be a big pickup for me and Corey if we were able to swing that one.
How far back am I from
it's Henderson
from Brett?
Corey, you're 4 games behind me.
4 games. Okay.
I'm 22-2 on the season, Mr. Johnson.
All right.
You know, Brett bragging about that 22.
He gonna fall. He gonna fall like every team before him.
Hey, you know what?
Don't worry.
You know what? Here's what I got to say about that. If y'all were that record, y'all would be doing the same thing.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to set me up.
Let's just be honest. So, I might as well enjoy it.
You know my mouth.
I'm saying what? My one Argyle win, my one Argyle upset trumps that whatever record you got.
Okay. Well, you keep picking Argyle, and I'll see you on the bottom of the standings. Keep picking against them. All right, what we got here?
What else we got?
Hector says 28-21 Henderson. All right, I like that. Hector, you can join the Henderson train. So what's that looking like? Is that 4-4? 4 Henderson, 4 Athens, huh? Because we got 1, 2, 3, Christian. Oh, Christian posted twice, maybe 3-4.
Yeah, 4 and 3. 4 and 3.
Okay.
Henderson 4, Athens 3.
All right. So the other matchup is Maybank at Palestine. Now, this one's tough for me because I haven't seen either team. Of course, we hadn't seen a couple like Henderson yet either. I just know what Henderson has in the past. Some of these games might get easier to pick once we start seeing some of these teams, but this one's going to be tough. What are y'all thinking here?
I'm thinking
I'm
Maybank.
picking Palestine.
Oh, y'all are going opposite. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna try to look and see. We got uh who they played. Palestine got beat by Kilgore last week by 29 points. Let's see. Christian says Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says they're two wing T teams. They're both running the wing T. He says.
Mm.
So that's interesting. Christians taking Palestine by 4, and it's that Palestine. Uh, Maybank coming in, they almost beat Lindale. They stayed with them, so I feel like they played well against a pretty good team. Um, they beat Bullard, they beat Kemp, they beat Wills Point, they beat Canton.
They didn't
Not
beat
much,
anybody.
not much on their schedule, I would say. Lindale was the first team on their schedule that was, you know, I'm going to go with Palestine. I think. I just think I haven't seen Palestine this season. I saw what they did to us last year in Palestine, and it was very impressive. So I'm going to go with Palestine at home.
That's a football team. I like Palestine. That's a football team.
Sorry guys, I'm looking at all these stats and it keeps playing these videos.
Did Vince say he had Maybank?
Yeah, I'm going Maybank.
Okay, that's what I thought
Going
he did.
Mount. You going Mount?
Hector,
Bank.
Hector,
Maybank.
Hector has Maybank.
Hector has Maybank. Got Hector.
Christian's got Palestine,
I don't have
and
Chris.
Chris has
Chris picking.
Palestine.
Okay, Palestine. Okay, Palestine.
Is that everybody?
I think that's it. So Palestine, Palestine, Maybank, 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 Palestine, Palestine. Another 4-3. Okay.
That's two pretty good matchups there. I think it's going to be tough. We've seen some teams that we thought were at the bottom of the district that have started the season well, in Athens and Maybank. So it's kind of made these picks a little closer than we thought maybe before the season started. So it's good. I like them. All right, who's next on the?
We got a non-district rivalry matchup, but everyone in East Texas knows it. Troop and ARP.
Ooh, and that's going to be.
I'm going
Let's see.
Troop
Let me find
actually.
out where that game is. That game's in Troop.
I'm going Troop.
This one's tough for me. This one's really tough because I lived in art for several years. A lot of
Yeah,
my
you
family,
did.
my parents graduated from art. My cousins graduated from art. So it's a tough one to pick because my heart says art, but this up here says it's going to be Troop.
It's gonna be
So,
Troop.
so I'm going to take
It's gonna
Troop.
be,
I'm going to take
it's
Troop.
gonna be Troop.
It's tough. It's like me picking against Chapel Hill and White House. I mean that's how tough this one is. But I just because
That's
it's not
that's the easy one for me.
it's close. Well, you know what I mean. It would be like if you knew that
Yeah, I
Patrick
know.
Mahomes was on White House and you knew they were going to beat us, picking against us. That's how I feel about this pick. Like I really think Troop's going to win, and it looks like the majority of everyone is going with Troop here. See, Vince, are you gonna take the underdog and try to gain some ground, or are you gonna?
Nah, I'm gonna go with Troop. Troop gonna win that game.
Looks like Troop for the sweep here. We got Hector with Troop, Chris with Troop, Christian Troop, Casey Troop, all of us with Troop. So that's the sweep for Troop. Now, I will say in those games, those are always a lot closer. When you have that kind of rivalry game, y'all know how it is. It just kind of ends up being a little closer than maybe the teams are. But I still think Troop's going to take this one pretty easily, unfortunately for Troop. So, or unfortunately for Art. All right, Corey, are you there? You look a little frozen. Corey looks like he's high or something. He's
Oh, yeah, he is frozen.
he looks a little
Hooray!
frozen. We lost Corey, I think. Corey, it must be that Suddenlink internet again.
Man, this could
you
be like
think
a cell phone commercial, man.
You would think he would have good service. You
You see
know,
that commercial with Tom Brady and Gronk?
oh yeah, where he
Yeah,
like talks about going to Tampa Bay, and then
yeah,
all the thing he
yeah.
hears is
That's
Gronk's
what
going to
this
jump
is
in and
right
win the
here.
Super Bowl. Yeah,
That's what this is. He's probably talking like crazy, thinking that we hear him and see him, but
yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take him down for a second, and while he's trying to figure that out, uh, oh wait, he's back. There he is,
wait,
I got everybody
man.
but Vince. I got everybody but Vince. Did he say
Okay,
Parker Troop?
true.
Vince said troop. We had a troop
Troop.
sweep. You
That
kind of
was
got
like
frozen.
30 minutes ago.
You were like frozen. It looked like you were high on something, like
Yeah,
frozen on the
Oh,
screen.
I don't. It's a troop sweep. Okay. Troop
We
sweep.
like, man, Corey, if anybody should get some good internet service, I think he'd have a hookup.
I think they're mad at me, but anyway, that's another story.
All
he's doing it to you on purpose.
right,
Yeah.
what's that next game, Corey?
We have. I'll write down here. Oh, Marshall versus Jacksonville. It's another big game.
Yeah. And that game is
I think
in
that's in
Marshall.
Marshall.
It is in Marshall, yes.
I'm picking Marshall. So
Marshall.
I'm picking
All right, Corey.
Marshall
Marshall.
versus Jacksonville.
I'm not picking Jacksonville, but I'm picking Marshall.
Oh man, that one's tough.
I picked against Jacksonville last week. That was bit me in the rear because that was the only game I lost. But I don't know if I can pick. I saw how.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville. I'm gonna go
Look at this
Jacksonville.
guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I can. Let's see. Jacksonville is they've lost to Palestine. They've lost to Henderson. They
That was
beat
their first win this
Hallville.
past week.
Yeah, they lost to Crandall. I'm going Marshall. I think Marshall has played a tougher schedule overall. They played Longview, which is ranked number 4 in the state, and they only lost to them by 14 points in Marshall or in Longview. So I think that's pretty tough. They also beat Pine Tree, that smacked Kilgore a few weeks ago. So I'm going to take Marshall.
Marshall.
That's good pointers. Good pointers.
Now he wants to change his pick because
No, 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 no. It's no. You're
I'm
the only
thinking about it,
outlier. You're the
but
only
I
Chapel
just
Hill person picking Jacksonville. Stick with that one. Stick with Jacksonville. It's
we
a few
got.
things you don't do with
yeah, I'll
Chapel
stay
Hill.
with it. I don't care. I'll stay with it.
I think he's got Chris is with him. Chris is taking Jacksonville
Oh, he's got you.
35-24.
Okay. All
And
right.
then
Come on, Chris.
Marshall for Hector, Casey, Joe, and Christian.
I got everybody. It was almost a Marshall sweep, but
I try. I even act like I'm sounding like know what I'm talking about a little bit sometimes. I really haven't seen any of the teams. I'm just going by what I've seen of who they've played more than anything else.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work out that way, but never know. All right, what's that next game, Vince? I'm not
um,
Vince. Corey. Sorry,
Cool.
one of my
Corey's got
games that I'm going for, Argyle versus Melissa.
Argyle.
Argyle. Go ahead,
This
Corey.
guy.
Go
Go ahead,
ahead.
Corey.
What'd
Corey.
you say?
Okay,
I
so
didn't hear you.
let
Speak
me
up.
let me preface this. Oh wait, Chris is
Speak
wanting to
up. I
change
didn't
his
hear you.
pick.
Yeah,
So are we
Chris
going to
is.
allow Chris to change his pick? He says he's
Yeah, he
changing it.
wising up. Chris is wising up. I give him that one. Marshall. Okay, Marshall.
Man, I think I'm finna go Marshall too, man. I think I
No,
have to go
no,
Marshall.
no, no,
I don't know that we allow you to change your pick.
no. You're a part of the show. You can't change it.
Well, I hope
No.
Jacksonville stomp him.
Hey, if it works out for you, it'll work out. Now,
It'll work
here's the
out.
thing. Corey and I were talking about these pregame. Now, Argyle and Melissa, that's a 1 versus 8 matchup. Melissa is number 8 in the state, so they are ranked. Um, so is half of their other schedule, and they've so far just beat everybody that's been on the schedule. So, did you say who you picked there, Corey? Did you?
Oh, you know I'm going Melissa.
Okay, that's what I thought. We got Hector's going with Argyle.
Mm-hmm.
We got Casey Joe
Okay.
Argyle. Oh, Chris is going to go with you, Corey,
Oh,
with Melissa, 24 to
I will
17.
not
yo,
follow Corey
okay.
down that dark hole.
My man, my man,
Christian, the Blevins
my
brothers are thinking
man, my
Oh
that
my
man,
God.
you're on the same page as the Blevinses,
The
my
man.
blind
man.
leading the blind.
The Blevins leading the Blevins.
Lord have
There
mercy.
we go.
Oh
Oh,
man!
y'all have
On
made
the
a big
bandwagon.
mistake.
It's all. It only takes one. It only takes one.
All right, Corey, is it? We got one more,
Yes, this is Van versus Liberty Ilo.
or maybe two more, because I think we had the legacy game too, didn't we?
We had the TCU. We had TCU versus Texas.
We just
No, we
added
just
that one
had.
as we
Yeah,
had that
we had
extra.
Van. It was just Van versus Liberty Ilo.
Okay, okay,
That was the last one.
and that game I believe in is it in Liberty Isle. I
I'm going
think
Van.
it's Van at Liberty Isle. So
What's
that's
Liberty
in Texas.
Ilo's record?
Liberty Isle is, let's check them out.
They're normally
They
always
have
good.
Liberty Isle is 1, 2, 3-1. They lost to Pine Tree week 1, 25-0 Pine Tree. Of course, Pine Tree is 5A. They've beaten Jefferson, Atlanta, and Waxahachie Life.
I'm going Liberty Ilo. Normally they're pretty good at football.
They are. Not this week. I'm going with Van.
Van.
We got
As Joe
Casey
said,
Joe says
Van.
Van, yeah.
I think that's probably one of the coolest names, like a mascot of Vandal. That's a pretty cool
Van
name.
Vandal, yeah.
Everything it all fits together. Van Vandal, it all fits together.
Hector says Vandals by 35.
Woo!
Man, Hector, they're gonna go vandalizing
Yeah.
Liberty
Yeah, I'm
Isle with
gonna
that
pick Van.
score.
My dad was
And
a
you said
Van
that's in
fan,
Liberty
so
Ilo.
I'm gonna always go
That's
with
in
Van.
Liberty.
That's in Texarkana, yeah. Liberty Isle.
Ooh, that's a tough place to play. It's a
Yeah.
tough place to play.
Christian says
Ilo,
Ilo.
Ilo, 30.
Hey, Blevins, if you keep picking the same as us, then you're never gonna beat us.
Don't listen. Keep picking from your heart.
Chris says Van. Okay, so they split that time.
Van over LE. Okay. All
So
right.
so does that put us at seven?
Yeah.
7 high
Only
school
one.
games?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high school games, and then
We
one college game. Casey Joe didn't pick the Texas and TCU game, so
Casey
I'm missing
Casey
that
Joe
part.
Casey Joe sent us a pick. The University of Texas
UT.
versus TCU. So you got
Hey, I'm.
Texas. Smart girl. Horns all day. I like that.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, she gets that on the screen. Horns all day.
There
I
we
like
go.
that.
There we go. There we
Yep.
go.
Throw them up. Throw them up. All right. So we've done with our
Get you one of
picks.
these.
Y'all got anything y'all want to talk about? Finish off the show.
Uh,
Oh,
Whoa, wait a
Hector,
minute, Hector. Wait a minute.
Hector,
Hector,
man.
disrespect.
Hey,
mm, mm,
I
mm.
got your logo on screen, and you're
Disrespect.
gonna saw them off, man.
Whoo.
Mm.
Whoo. I hurt my eyes. Oh. Oh. Whoo.
Mm.
The disrespect.
How did the 49ers do this week? Did I see them get beat by the Rodgers? The Aaron Rodgers?
You know what? We need another quarterback. I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. I
I'm
really
not
don't
gonna.
like
You
Jimmy.
can't be mad at that, man. That
I
dude went
really don't
down with
like Jimmy. I
37
really
seconds and
don't like
scored. Like, what are you
Jimmy.
supposed to be?
Jimmy G
What are you
cost us
mad
the
at? It's
game.
Aaron Rodgers.
Jimmy G cost us the game because he's inconsistent.
How?
He had the fumble. and then he doesn't know how to run out of the
You went
pocket.
up
Whenever
with
he's feeling
thirty-seven
pressure, he doesn't know
seconds
how to
left in the
run.
game.
And our secondary is banged up. It's an excuse, but
Jimmy
either way
G
it
didn't play
goes,
defense.
either way it goes, our secondary is
He
banged
didn't
up.
play
It's whatever.
defense.
But you can't give Aaron Rodgers the ball back 37 seconds left, and our secondary is banged up. So it's whatever. It's week. And besides, it was week 3. It's week 3. It's week 3.
Week
Trey
three.
Lance probably be in there by week 10.
So what's y'all's record now? Is that 2-1?
2-1.
Okay. What about the Texans? I didn't even see the Texans score. How'd they do this weekend? Yes. That's not been good. You don't want to talk about. Did Deshaun Watson play? That's all
I
I want to
mean,
know.
Nah, he ain't playing. We
I
done
mean,
moved
I
on from
mean,
that. I told you, he ain't playing. We done.
Brett feeling good. Brett's feeling real good. The Cowboys beat the Seagulls, and
Hey,
who hadn't beat the Seagulls?
hey,
Atlanta.
they were
Atlanta
tied
didn't beat
for
them.
the division with us right now. That's all that matters. Win the division, man. Just take care of itself.
I've heard that. I've heard that for 24 years.
Hey, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, I've heard that for 24
I'm feeling
years.
pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie. After last
If,
week's game, that we almost gave it away with the poor clock management.
I
We
mean,
won the
division
game.
titles. The Cowboys.
Hey, it don't matter. This is a new year. This is a new year. I feel good about what we got.
Oh
The
man,
Micah Parsons, man, he's all over the place. That guy, he's a beast at the end. That was the best move they ever did was move him to rushing the quarterback. That guy
yep.
can get to the quarterback. So I mean, I'm still trying to be optimistic, but I feel pretty good about what I've seen from Dallas Cowboys so far this season. We've only lost one game to defending
I
Super Bowl
watched y'all
champs,
game, yeah. Now I
and
will
we
say this: the Eagles.
we stomped the Eagles in the ground. Like we didn't just like barely win. We just put it to them.
I feel like the
So
Eagles really shot themselves in the foot because they just wouldn't. They. It's like they didn't come to play. It's like like you had heard that was like throwing passes that they were just dropping, or the one dude who he fell over and you had Diggs right. It's like, man, they didn't show up to play. They didn't want to play that game. But y'all did what y'all supposed to do. I'm not even hating on Dallas. Y'all did what y'all supposed to do.
Cowboys play well. I take nothing against them
Yeah,
playing well. It's not. It's just that fan base I don't like. Y'all ruin it for everybody else.
yeah.
Just hey, you have a good
y'all
week.
don't
You have a
don't.
good.
Hey, I'm gonna enjoy beating somebody in our division by that many points. I mean, I didn't say now. Hector's saying
Oh
Super
yeah,
Bowl now.
yeah.
I wasn't
Like I
saying. I'm
said,
not saying
man,
Super Bowl.
y'all did what y'all supposed to do. I'm not even
I'm
hating on
not.
Cowboys. They did everything they supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, they
not
did
talking
everything they're
Super
supposed to
Bowl. I
do.
mean, would I love them to
They
go to the
made some
Super Bowl?
decisions.
Yes. Are we there yet? No. I want to see them beat some other teams first. Beat somebody else out of the division. I'm not. I mean, I may be a Cowboys homer, but I'm realistic.
I
We
mean,
still got to beat some other teams.
if y'all don't win that division, if anybody else beats the Cowboys in that division, y'all might just want to hang it up. Like this, they are expected to win the division at this point. You can't go back from here. If you don't win the
Yeah.
division right now, it is what it is. You can't go back. You can't go back from that. But we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I what's the Texans record? I don't know. I don't. Is that have y'all won one? Oh,
Yeah, we
y'all
beat
beat the
Jacksonville.
y'all beat Jacksonville. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So y'all beat a college team and then lost the other two.
Pretty much. They yeah, pretty much.
Hey, it's okay, Vince. Y'all are going for a
we don't
number
have
one
our
pick.
quarterback though. You got to remember, we
Number
don't have our quarterback.
Yeah.
your quarterback's still in college. Y'all are going for the number one pick in the draft, probably.
I want them to just play. I don't want them to try to. I don't want them to tank. I just want them to play
Texans
ball.
1-2, brutal
Well,
schedule.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this because I do have Texas fan ties. I'm a Texas fan myself. That's just the back end on it. However, this is probably the last year that team's gonna be that bad. I don't think they're gonna be that bad for long. That Lovey Smith has got that defense. Whether people like it or not, the defense is going to get that team is going to get better. I didn't say Deshaun Watson won't be there for that team to get better, but that team will get better. And I will say that sooner than later, for sure.
Yeah, we got a backup quarterback that's just struggling right now to make plays. So he wasn't expected to play, and it is what it is. I'm not even mad at it.
Got to go. Got to go through some things. Got to go through some
Yeah,
things, but it's
yeah.
okay.
I
Hey
mean,
Vince,
most people didn't even really expect anything coming into this season. So,
Vince, that's a nice looking hat you got there on the couch. Can you show everybody your hat that you got sitting there?
oh, sure, man. Sure, man.
We got still have some more of these left. It's our Bulldog Sports Network hats. If you'd like one, reach out. They're $15 a piece. So get your hat now. I got mine. Corey, I got. Did you get one?
I got one
I gotta get you one.
for sure.
Maybe if you make
I'm
it
waiting
to
for basketball season. Wait for
okay,
basketball season.
okay, all right. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I've got one for you though. So if everybody wants one, reach out. Uh, I guess we're that's a wrap for this week. We're ready for this weekend's games.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Two days away. Corey, you gonna make it out? Oh, never mind. You said you're gonna stay home and listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Logan.
Well,
I
yeah.
me
Listen
and
to Logan. Yeah.
this will be
I
fun.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the color commentary. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The nice peaceful banter. I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, oh
This
yeah.
might be the
It's
one time I get out of the house for a away game. So yeah, I'm gonna take my chance with that.
take your chance. Yeah,
Yeah.
and get out of jail free card for Vince this week.
Yeah. So
Is it? Are
I'm
we
like,
playing
yeah,
in
I'm out.
Kilgore? Are we playing in Kilgore? I can't remember. I think we are.
What'd you say?
I think we are. We playing in Kilgore?
Yes, yes, we're in Kilgore.
See,
Mm.
yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one. I know I won't be able to make that Kilgore game. I don't know unless a miracle happens, but
A miracle happened.
who knows?
uh,
You never know.
I'm just ready for basketball season coming, Corey. Speaking of that, we're still looking for sponsors for basketball season. So if you want to catch Corey and I this year, I'm not sure how many games Corey's going to do. I'd like to have him every game, but we'll see how the schedule works out.
Yeah, we'll look at the schedule because I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a lots of fun.
I'm excited.
We're gonna have Jared Jones get in there with us and hang around with us this year. Should be fun having Jared around. Um, it'll be different for him, I'm sure, being not on the court playing. Get to he's a good kid. He's got good character. I'm interested to get some inside perspective from the locker room. It's gonna make a show. I'd like to get him
We,
on our show and talk to and like get his perspective on things, just because he's been in the locker room with these guys and with Coach Johnson, so you have a good perspective on kind of what goes on.
can't give out too much. No little bit details. No
Yeah,
details.
yeah.
Just a little insight.
Just some insight that we don't have.
Yeah.
So it'll make things interesting. Final thoughts. Anybody have any final thoughts before we get off?
Yeah, man. Business week. Like I've been saying, business week. Get the job done. Take care of business. Move on.
Vince?
Like Corey said, take care of business, man. Like, um, do what you gotta do. Coaches, y'all know what y'all gotta do. You know, come out with that fire, that intensity that you did last week. But make sure, if nothing else, make sure Lindell make sure they respect us after this. You know, we gonna come with it. So
Chris is giving Jared a shout out. He thinks it's going to make commentary good during for basketball season. So yeah, I think so too. Chris, it's going to be great. Good
Oh,
to
we're
have
gonna
him with
test
us.
him.
Yeah, we'll get him initiated real quick. Hey,
For sure.
so my thoughts are, I think I've got basically the game can go two ways. I think if Chapel Hill gets out and plays like they did against Athens, gets out early, it could get ugly early. If they don't and they have to play from behind or like a close game, I think Chapel Hill still wins, but I think it's along the lines of anywhere from a 7 to 14 point game. I think it could go either way. It just depends on the start and if they can put Lindell in a position where they have to come from behind. It's going to make a little. Although we saw Lindell do it last week, but this isn't. Let's be honest. Chapel Hill's defense isn't Maybank. It's going to be a lot tougher for them to do that. So I think if Chapel Hill can put themselves in a position early and take advantage of that, then I think we'll have no problem with Lindale. if it's a close game at first and the longer the game goes on, I think mentally Chapel Hill in the back of their mind is going to think, Lindale beat us 2 times last year. Can we beat them? I don't want to think that, but I think the longer the game goes on, they have to remember that. So I think the game is going to go like it did this week because it seems like the last few games we've gotten off to a better start. So I'm going to go ahead and go with they're going to come out and be on their game early. That's just
It'll be
my
a
thought.
test.
Yeah.
It'll be a good game. I have no doubt about it being a good game. But I always say this: when Uncle Mo is visiting, you let him stay as long as he wants.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks everybody for watching tonight. All the chats and commentary was great. Thanks for all your participation. Make sure you share the show with all your friends and family.
Yes.
Tell them about us. Like our page. We've got it on YouTube. We got it on Twitter. We've got it on Facebook. We've got it on Twitch. So go like and
We
subscribe to
everywhere.
all our pages. You can see us everywhere. So
Yeah, and check out That's So Dope podcast. We
yeah.
got some new episodes coming out.
If you like hearing Vince, Corey argue, then just tune in their other podcasts and
And
just
we got JD. JD's not here, but JD's on there too. So hey.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. I'm Brett Swinney for Corey Marshall and Vincent Johnson. We'll catch you next time on next week's wrap up show right here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Y'all have a good evening.
Peace.
Go Dogs!